Hola mi gente, ¿cómo está? Y bienvenidos a otro video mío aquí en mi canal. En este video voy a hablar con ustedes acerca de, ¿cómo se dice? How it's been going. Con este libro aquí, El Alquimista. Pero primero, si no me conoces, mi nombre es Cristina and I've been learning Spanish for 4 years por mi cuenta. That means on my own. And here on my channel, I like to talk about how I did it, how I do it, and how you can too. So if you want to grow on your Spanish journey or watch me grow on mine, then please hit that subscribe button and let's talk about it. Okay, so as you know, all of 2 weeks ago, I decided to be a little bit more intentional about how I can incorporate more Spanish into my life. I think in my about section, actually, I have a little saying of mine. Se dice, cuando era niña, me solía decir que yo supiera hablar español o nunca hablaría inglés. Y eso es la meta, para ser honesta contigo, ¿ok? Yo quiero hablar español como si fuera nativa, all right? And I think to do that, I have to take a lot more intentional steps to learning, not just spending time in my workbook or watching Betty La Fea, as you guys may or may not have seen in my video on how I study Spanish. I think that there's a lot more left on the table, and so reading was how I, tried to take a stab at more Spanish, long story short. Pues con El Alquimista, I already read it, ya lo leí, así que ya sabía que me encantaría, that I would love it. I knew that I would like it, pero hay algo que me pasó y por eso estoy haciendo este video, okay? I did not want to, let's just start here. I did not want to read a book that was geared or intended for people learning Spanish. I wanted to read something that was a novel, something that made me feel like, I don't know, that I had graduated in my Spanish journey. After all, I've been doing this for 4 years now, so it never occurred to me to read a beginner's guide to X, Y, and Z or easy Spanish stories for beginners. No, nothing like that. I didn't want anything like that. And so I was so excited to read El Alquimista. But you guys know how it went. Al principio, cuando estaba leyendo unas partes del libro, I was having some trouble, okay? There were a lot of words that I didn't know. There were some grammatical structures that I wasn't familiar with. And over the last 2 weeks, I will say I made it through all of 6 pages, okay? Because the book, it's got a prologue and an intro and all these different things, but it actually starts on page, let's see, primera parte es página 19, okay, 19. And here is página 19, all right? These highlights are all from whenever I had attempted to read this book, probably years ago. And I made it all the way to página 25, okay? So all of 6 pages. And I realized, I don't think this is gonna work. I had to have a real come to Jesus moment with deciding to not continue to read El Alquimista. I took it as a real stab at my ego to say, hey, este libro es demasiado difícil, no puedo hacerlo. Porque eso significa que no tengo el nivel tan avanzado que yo pensaba que yo tenía, that I thought I had. No sé, I didn't have the level that I thought I had, or that I thought was advanced enough to get me through this book. What was explained to me was that this book, El Alquimista, es llena, okay, llena de palabras filosóficas, like philosophical words and phrases, and by the way, a ton ton of subjunctive. And it is a subjunctive form that I had not been introduced to. So I struggled to truly appreciate the book because there was so much that I was like, oh, what's that? Oh, wait a minute, what does that mean? And why was it said like that? And oh man, I've never heard of that word. What is that? Había demasiadas palabras, okay? Había demasiadas palabras que no entendí. And so it is with a humble heart that I announce I am leaving El Alquimista on the table for now. I'll come back to it. I don't know how much longer it's going to take for me to get there, but I'll come back to it. And I have decided, again, humbling myself, I have decided to dig through my little Spanish caja, my box of Spanish books, and choose one that was a little more my speed, okay? And so the book I am now transitioning to reading is okay? Este libro aquí, which makes me feel like I'm not as advanced as I thought, but reading is a different beast, okay? Reading is a different beast. I've had this for years, but this one is for beginners, and then there's a red one that's for advanced Spanish speakers or Spanish learners. And so we'll see. So yeah, but that is how it's been going. So check back with me in another 2 weeks to see how far I get. And if I finish this book, that means that I either met my match or I need to take it a little bit, maybe in a step, one more. I need to find a more advanced book. ¿Me entiendes? Adios.